Hello and a warm welcome to all students of Europe Hotel School. I'll be your guide for this session. Think of me as your dedicated AI expert, here to help you master modern hospitality operations. Today, we're going to dive deep into the art of the corporate proposal. And look, we're not just going to talk about selling rooms. We are building a blueprint for forging powerful, long-term partnerships that are truly going to define your career. So, let's get started.
All right, let's get straight to the absolute heart of the matter. This is the most important question you'll ever ask yourself in corporate sales. Are you just a vendor? Just another line item on a client's spreadsheet? Or are you an indispensable strategic partner, someone who's deeply woven into your client's success? How you answer this one question, well, it's going to shape everything else you do.
So how do we become that strategic partner? Well, we're going to follow a really clear 4-part blueprint. First, we'll get into the art of personalization. Then, we're going to lay a rock-solid strategic foundation with some smart research. After that, we'll focus on crafting an offer that's truly irresistible. And finally, we'll lock in that all-important long-term relationship.
Okay, first up, the personalization imperative. And I really can't stress this enough. This is not just some buzzword we throw around. It's the core mindset that separates the average from the truly exceptional in this industry. Think about it for a second. A generic proposal. It immediately puts you in that transaction box. The whole conversation becomes about price, which means you're easily replaceable. But the moment you personalize your approach, the entire game changes. Suddenly, you're not a vendor, you're a strategic partner. The conversation shifts from cost to value, and you're building a real relationship, not just making a quick sale.
So the big question is, right, how do we actually get to that level of personalization? Well, it all starts with our second key area, building a strong strategic foundation. This is where we go way beyond the surface with some deep research and intelligence gathering.
And let's be clear, this is not just a quick Google search. I want you to think of this as a true intelligence mission. You need to really dig into your own client data, you have to know what your competitors are up to, spot the bigger market trends, and be brutally honest about how your own services stack up. This is how you find your unique strategic edge.
And when we talk about client data, I mean we are going deep. It's not just about their past booking histories or travel patterns. We're talking about really understanding their organizational culture, knowing their key company initiatives for the year, and even how their internal departments are structured. When you understand these deeper details, you can speak their language and perfectly align your proposal with their most important goals.
All right, so once you've gathered all that crucial intelligence, it's time to move on to Section 3, crafting a compelling offer. This is where we take all that amazing research and build a proposal that is basically impossible for them to ignore.
And the absolute heart of that proposal is what we call the value proposition matrix. Just look at the examples here. We're not just listing features, right? We're connecting the dots. We take a specific client need, like operational efficiency, connect it directly to one of our services, like flexible booking, and then, and this is so important, we spell out the tangible, real-world benefit for them, like reduced admin time. This is how you prove your value.
Okay, so the first building block of your offer? It's all about content and value. Every single sentence, every bullet point in your proposal has to answer the client's unspoken question. What's in it for me? Are you saving them time? Saving them money? Improving their employee morale? You have to make it crystal clear.
Next up, we have design and polish. You should never underestimate the power of a clean, professional-looking document. When it's consistent with your brand and it's easy to read, it sends a really powerful message. It says you respect their time, you pay attention to detail, and you're a credible partner they can trust.
And finally, let's touch on language and tone. It is so critical that you adapt your communication style to actually match the client's culture. Are they a very formal, data-driven company, or are they maybe more creative and collaborative? When you mirror their style, you build this subconscious rapport, and it just proves you've really done your homework. Now, I'm going to give you an advanced technique, something that will really set you apart. It's called proactive objection management. So instead of waiting for the client to bring up concerns about, say, the budget, you anticipate them. You might say something like, look, we totally get that budget is a key consideration. That's exactly why we've designed 3 flexible packages to meet your specific needs. By addressing these issues head-on, you build immense confidence and show you're a true problem-solving partner.
And this brings us to a really crucial point. Sending that proposal, that is not the finish line. Think of it more like the starting gun. And that brings us to our final section, securing the long-term partnership. Let's talk about what has to happen after you hit send.
Let me tell you, a winning proposal is never, ever a one-person show. It's the result of a well-oiled internal collaboration engine. Your sales team has to be in lockstep with operations, with revenue management, F&B, and even finance. And why is that? It's because you have to be absolutely certain that every single promise you make in that proposal can be flawlessly delivered. This internal alignment, that's the foundation of client trust. Okay, so the proposal is out the door. Now your process kicks into high gear. It has to have a clear call to action. You need a system for timely, professional follow-up. You have to actively engage the client with meetings or calls. And, so critically, you must track the outcomes of every single proposal, win or lose, to create this constant feedback loop for continuous improvement.
You know, this quote here really brings it all together. The piece of paper, the PDF file, that's not the actual goal. The real goal is the conversation it starts. I want you to think of that document as your key to unlocking a meaningful, value-driven dialogue with a future partner.
So, I'm going to leave you with one final thought to really chew on. The next time you sit down to write a proposal, I want you to stop. Take a hard look at it and really ask yourself, is this just an invoice? A list of services and prices for a simple transaction? Or is it a compelling, thoughtful invitation for a company to partner with you to achieve their biggest goals? The choice, and all the success that comes with it, is yours.